Time for third down. That takes us to the Big 12. Nebraska guys will clinch the Big 12 North with a win and a Missouri loss. Nebraska has Texas A&M Saturday. Who do you have, Trev?
You know, I think Nebraska will win this game, but I think A&M will give them fits. Ryan Tannehill, the quarterback for A&M, has just played 4 games for them, and he's transformed the attitude and the production of that offense. He's done exceptionally well. The thing about Nebraska's defense, though, is that they've made some really good quarterbacks look really silly. Jake Locker from Washington, Blaine Gabbert from Missouri, both, and others, did very poorly against this secondary. And so while Nebraska doesn't really get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, there's not a lot of room in the back 7 to throw the ball. So I think Tannehill will be slowed down, and I don't think that this defense of A&M, which is technically ranked #1 in the conference in rushing defense, is for real in that regard. I think Nebraska will run wild. I think Nebraska wins this game 31-24.
By the way, Oklahoma State's Brandon Whedon put up 41 points against that Nebraska defense and threw it pretty well on them. So he was the one exception to your rule.
But he only completed about 50% of his passes. He had a couple of big plays.
He was chucking it all over the place. Just a hunch here. It looks to me like Taylor Martinez's ankle ain't right. And I don't think it's going to be right for this game. So I'm going to play an even bigger hunch. I'm going to play the home team here. I'm going with Texas A&M because of the Ryan Tannehill factor that you talked about. This team has ignited around him because Gerard Johnson is a big, strong talent of a quarterback, but like at Oklahoma State, he throws 5 touchdown passes and 4 picks. And so finally, they're not turning the ball over with Tannehill. Just at home, at night, with the 12th man, College Station, extremely loud and proud. And I realize that Nebraska on the road, sort of inexplicably, their offense has been more explosive, but not this time. And I'm going to say that Cyrus Gray for Texas A&M will run on that defense because it has holes in it. I kept hearing at the first of the year, this is the best defense in the country. No, it is not the best defense in the country. So if he can control the ball and they can get the crowd going, the defense has a lot of athletes on it. I just think it's going to be one of those, and I'll give you that it'll be an upset, but I think A&M wins this game 30-27, and we throw another monkey wrench into the proceedings.
And that will be a monkey wrench. And that's just, if you look at the North.
To your point, I'm an Oklahoma fan, and I must say, for the record, among top-tier coaches, Bob Stoops is the best recruiter and the worst motivator among top-tier coaches, because Oklahoma has won just that one road game at Cincinnati, which is now 3-6, and they won it 31-29. Oklahoma's better than Missouri. They're better than Texas A&M, and they lost in both places. So is Oklahoma better than Baylor? Yes. And they're 7.5 point favorite on the road. But I'm sorry. I will believe it when I see it.
Wow.
I'm going with Robert Griffin III and Jay Finley because I just don't believe Oklahoma on the road. So I'm going to go Baylor in a wild one, 34-33.
What did you have for breakfast, for goodness sake?
I had Bob Stoops for breakfast.
You're way out of the way.
You just had him for lunch and dinner, too.
That's going in the locker room right there.
All right, there you have it. That's big.
Coach Jim Tressel saying that D, one of the best in the conference, and of course, Nebraska. At College Station, the Aggies very happy with Ryan Tannehill. 3 starts, and he has really gotten this A&M team 4 straight wins. And we're going to bring in Huskers head coach Bo Pelini right now. Coach, thanks for joining us. And talking about the Aggies offense, just really seems so balanced right now with their quarterback Tannehill and their back Cyrus Gray. So what's the big focus for your defense and kind of slowing that offense down?
You know, we just talk about Aaron executing. I mean, that's what it's all about for us. And like you said, they have balance, so we got to have balance. And you know, we try to do everything we can to try and affect that opposing quarterback. But to me, it always starts up front. If you can control the running game, and then you can start dictating to them what you want to do on defense. But they do, like you said, they do a good job of having balance, and we're going to have to be on par defensively.
Well, a question I'm sure you're tired of hearing about. It's been the #1 question in Lincoln, the health status of your quarterback, Taylor Martinez, and that bum right ankle. Where is he, and how close is he to being where he was before the injury?
Well, I think he's a lot closer. You know, last week he was pretty guarded to start the game, and we were all, we weren't sure where he was. And I think being able to play last week helped him, but he had a heck of a lot better week of practice. I think the confidence on it's grown, but you never really know until you start getting out there when it's live. And but I think he's about 90%. I think he's ready to go. Looking forward to playing today.
All right, Bo, we appreciate your time. Good luck this evening tonight against Texas A&M. And we're going to bring in a guy that was a teammate of Bo Pelini's with the Buckeyes. Chris Spielman joining us now. He'll be calling the Wisconsin-Michigan game. And
to rockin' Wrigley Field. Hey, the Cubs can't lose on this day, folks. Somebody's going to win a football game. Aaron Andrews?
Towards getting to a BCS bowl game. Coach, who's your team?
I think Nebraska has an excellent chance. You know, here's a team with only one loss. And I mean, they may be looking at a national championship game as well if they can finish very, very strong. Their only loss was to Texas, a game they obviously should not have lost. But I think that they're a very solid football team.
Wisconsin's Brett Bielema, plus Ernie Banks and Mike Ditka joins us live. But right now on ESPNU, it's Sports Nation. Enjoy your Saturday.
Next up, it is number 8 Nebraska at 19 Texas A&M. John, which team is gonna lose?
Cindy, Nebraska is looking for its 10th straight win in the month of November. Texas A&M, though, they are red hot. 4 wins in a row. Today, Master Huang, please put Nebraska on the chopping block. Upset. Master Huang is crazy!
It was the Husker headbutt!
Here's why. New quarterback Ryan Tannehill was a wide receiver, but has been the catalyst for A&M's resurgence. He's 3-0 as a starter. 10 touchdowns in 3.5 games at quarterback. The guy passed for 449 yards against Texas Tech. He's facing a Cornhusker capacity that's number 2 in the FBS, but the Aggies can run it too with Cyrus Gray. 4 straight 100-yard games. And Jeff Fuller, wide receiver, he is a mismatch in this hurry-up tempo. 6'4", 215. He's got a catch in all 30 games of his career. 61 receptions this year, just like Ryan Swope.
Great information by you. You're really bringing it this morning.
You.
All right. Bad news. It's time for 3 jeers. 1 jeer for Kansas State. Kansas State, Missouri. Fumblerooski. Colin Klein quickly puts the ball under John Hubert's legs, but he fumbles. It's recovered by Kenji Jackson of the Tigers.
What a clever idea until the offensive lineman didn't realize
what was going on.
Wait a second, he's got to know. He's got to pick the ball up. Oh, but wow. Wake Forest won this game 53-13, but that doesn't really matter. What a great job of acting. He's got defenders closing in. Overholt holds his